Okay, one thing about bands and their names and album titles is sometimes they're hard to pronounce. And if you've been listening to my reviews, you will have known this already, that Thomas Mergel is not the best at pronouncing things. That is okay. I try, and it's the thought that counts. It's me trying. I don't give up. I don't just pussyfoot around it. I try to drive right through it. And I am getting a phone call, so that's neat. Now, I need to make sure that I edit that, because that would be annoying. My name is Thomas Mergel. Thank you for listening to this review of Voidcraeft. And the album title is in Greek. I can't read this scripture. You can find this release on Voidhanger Records. It releases February 5th, 2016. Let me get the PR bits out of the way. A German one-man project dealing with the themes of emptiness, renunciation, and the human condition in general. Voidcraeft play black metal with great emphasis on crude, dissonant riffs that enhance the hypnotic nature of their twisted melodies. Their third and most refined full-length album, the first on Hanger Records, is called Bleu, and is certainly peculiar in that all its lyrics are written saying in biblical Hebrew and Koine Greek. The album was largely inspired by a literary endeavor in which Voidcraeft read all of the New Testament in the Hebrew Bible, and the ordeal lasted for several months. The band's sole member recalls, "Since I have keen interest in foreign languages, I did not only read the English translations, but also the Greek, Hebrew, and Aramaic sources every now and then. I was constantly making notes, which I later reassembled and slightly modified to write for the lyrics of this release." Though significantly far from being another occult or religious black metal album, this one is wrapped in a dark, disturbing aura that is like Deathspell Omega and Nightbringer, and only something that they'll be able to create. A fitting soundtrack to the dreadful lyrical sources. I was particularly impressed by Job and Ecolusius, early examples of Jewish existentialism. Fuck, I'm messing this all up, aren't I? Says Voidcraeft. According to their bleak theology, humanity is portrayed as the subject of a cryptic god who rewards the wicked and punishes the faithful. The laws he gave to man are ultimately meaningless because he does not care whether we choose to obey or ignore them. Born into an equally meaningless world, we are stuck in an endless cycle of birth, suffering, and death, pursuing vain things such as wealth and social status, all of which are but a breath that is temporary and ultimately worthless. This figurative usage of the Hebrew term for breath or vapor, which is Hevel or Hevel, also inspired the album title. So, there you have it. Don't even know how to pronounce this album title. Ibea? I'm probably butchering that. Is an ancient Greek transliteration for the affirmation Hevel, and it references both the Hebrew and Greek album segments, which represent the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament, respectively. Aptly described as skin-crawlingly death spell-esque, this album comes with a stunning cover painting by renowned Norwegian artist Sindre Foss Skanker, which is as elegant and mystical as the music itself. Okay, now that was probably the hardest PR thing I've had to read about this band, but I felt like it was necessary because it kind of gives you some backstory on what to expect from this album. So, okay. Well, this is an unexpected treat into oblivion-driven black metal. Voidcraft's writing style is unique in terms of just layered sound, while definitely keeping it dark and brooding black metal. Vocals often stay in one fiery tone, but seemingly fit well with any given riff underneath it. Drums are punishing, and the ability to finesse the bass guitar underneath the wall of guitars and still hear everything perfectly is just a good example of expert production. There are many good things about this release that makes it stand out from the rest. Each song is packed with the things I've mentioned above, and the entire album plays along so well. The flow of the songs just move, and it's an enjoyable listening experience from front to back. Heck, I accidentally let this play twice in a row, and I still found myself in awe about how well it moves and flows from one song to another, and I really appreciate the dedication to the religious readings and the musical journey as a result. It really is beneficial to us all who enjoy these kind of bands, who put the time and effort into religious writings and create an album or sometimes an entire discography based off of their studies. Voidcraeft has truly made something magical here, and I highly recommend listening to this when it drops or when the stream is ready. I'd say this type of black metal is also a must-have for your collection. It's very deep, very good, and definitely a solid black metal album. Enjoy. Now, I know that religion and everything, especially within black metal, it's usually just hatred towards it. It's anti-Christian, it's anti-everything, but sometimes you come across these bands who kind of dive into the mythology of everything, and I really think Voidcraeft does it well here. I mean, Nile goes with the Egyptian mythology, Amon Amarth goes with Viking mythology, and I mean, even if it's anti-Christian, it still dives into Christianity and that whole mythology. I love it. Sometimes it's interesting, sometimes it ends up being shit, but most of the time, these bands, they do their homework and they create a solid album. Voidcraft's newest one, which I cannot pronounce for the life of me, but apparently it means breath or vapor in ancient Greek. I give it an 8 out of 10. And for more information, you can go down below. I'm going to link to Ide Voihanger's Facebook page, their Bandcamp page, and their actual web page. I love that record label. They are good. There's always solid music on there, and Voidcraeft does it justice. So thank you for listening. Go check out that album if there's any music streaming yet. Please listen to it. Comes out relatively soon, but not until February 5th, 2016. My name is Thomas Mergel, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next review. And yeah, it's been good, everyone. Stay tuned soon, though, because I'm going to have some reviews done by Deformatory, The Lion's Daughter, Wolf Horde, Old Forest, Humanitas Era Establishment, and much more on the way. I'm already getting floods of this stuff, so yep, 2016 is going to kick ass. Thank you.